have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lusts shall they heap to themselves teachers, having itching ears. And they shall turn away their ears from the truth, and shall be turned unto fables.
You're going to see some New Age stuff mixed in with the Christian Flat Earth movement, same as with the Greater Church. It's sad to see Christians playing with things like the Enneagram and visualization and manifestation, which I was into as a New Ager long before I became a Christian. The Christian truth movement is the only truth movement, by the way. The New Age truth movement is the Freemason truth movement. That's the fake truth movement net that I got caught in before I got saved and found the real truth. That there's been a war against the God of the Bible and against his Son since the beginning of time.
Why do the heathen rage, and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, Let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us.
Just look at the leaders of the New Age movement. Just look at the New Age magazine. The New Age is Freemasonry. This one in particular is certainly interesting for you New Age truthers and flat earthers. I will talk a little bit more about these New Age truth movement leaders in future parts of this series. Patrick from this Prophecy YouTube channel made a great video series that distinguishes between the real truth movement and the fake truth movement. It's several years old, but still very relevant. And Chris White from Verse by Verse BT YouTube channel made several videos exposing those New Age truth movement leaders. Again, old, but still relevant. And I need to give just a general warning about Eric Dubé, one of the original Flat Earth content creators. I hate that term for what I hope are obvious reasons, and I won't be using it again throughout this series. Anyway, Eric did great work in the Flat Earth movement, and you will hear his voice everywhere. But he made a video titled Jesus Christ Never Existed, promoting New Age truthers like Acharya S., who you just saw before. I've been praying for Eric for years, but he is the biblical definition of an antichrist, and you should avoid him.
Who is a liar, but he that denieth that Jesus is the Christ? He is Antichrist, that denieth the Father and the Son. Whosoever denieth the Son, the same hath not the Father. He that acknowledgeth the Son hath the Father also. And every spirit that confesseth not that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is not of God. And this is that spirit of Antichrist, whereof ye have heard that it should come. And even now already is it in the world.
You can get the same Flat Earth content from quote-unquote Christian sources, and I use that term lightly for reasons you will understand as we go through this series. I've confronted Eric and prayed for him directly about this. Please don't hate on him, but pray for him with me. You'll also see some Christian truthers and flat earthers pushing vegetarianism and veganism. They'll argue that we were never created to eat meat because God didn't command man to eat meat before the flood. That presupposes that everyone obeyed God, which they didn't. So some humans were probably eating meat before the flood, believers and non-believers. I mean, that stuff smells good when it cooks. And that argument also presupposes that God changed human anatomy after the flood. According to the research of Dr. Weston A. Price, DDS, we have teeth in our mouths that were designed to tear flesh. So God, in His wisdom, created us with flesh-tearing teeth even before He gave the commandment to eat meat. The Holy Spirit, through the Apostle Paul, told us through his second letter to Timothy how things would be in the latter days, the end times that we are most certainly in now.
Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, speaking lies in hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron, forbidding to marry, and commanding to abstain from meats which God hath created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth.
The push for vegetarianism and veganism by entities like the World Economic Forum are part of the elite's plan to build the Antichrist system by externalizing or revealing their hierarchy, their religion, their secrets onto the world through mass initiation. This is what Alice Bailey's book is about. Initiating the masses into Gnosticism or Freemasonry or Mystery Babylon. And they're doing it through Freemasonry and through the church.
There is no question, therefore, that the work to be done in familiarizing the general public with the nature of the mysteries is of paramount importance at this time. These mysteries will be restored to outer expression through the medium of the Church and the Masonic fraternity.
We'll expound upon that as we go further into this series. According to Albert Pike, vegetarianism is part of the third-degree initiation in the Indian mysteries.
In the Indian mysteries, the third degree, the initiate is said to be born again.
The third degree is the Master Mason degree, where the initiate is raised from death by the lion's grip. This is the corrupted Freemason version of being born again. Personally, I've been a vegetarian twice, both times for about a year. And I've been a raw vegan once for about 2 years. Those diets don't work for me, and I became emaciated and vitamin and mineral deficient each time. At the end of my raw vegan journey, my teeth started to hurt until I got some animal protein back in me. This book, Nourishing Traditions by Sally Fallon, really helped me get back on track. It can be very difficult to adapt a diet that your own ancestors didn't eat. For instance, a first-generation Japanese American can have a very hard time with the standard American diet of heavy meats and grains when their ancestors have been eating fish and rice for thousands of years. Generally, the best diet for us is what our families have been eating throughout our generations. Right now, because my fibromyalgia-related digestive problems are so bad, I can only eat fish, and only about 2 to 3 ounces per day. I can't digest land animals anymore, but I'm chronically ill, and I don't need a lot of meat because I'm older and I'm not as physically active as I once was. Eat whatever is best for you based upon your ancestry, age, weight, current health, predisposition toward illnesses such as diabetes, hypertension, etc. Yes, you should avoid things that are harmful, and you should avoid healthy things in excess. Just drinking too much water can kill you. You should strive for a healthy BMI. But being a vegetarian or a vegan is a luxury. If you can choose that and it works for you, knock yourself out. I won't hate you or try to change you. But I've been so poor, I had to stand in line to get food boxes at my local church. When you can't afford to feed yourself, you eat whatever is given to you. Torah keepers. I'll refute Torah communities later in this series for sure. Eat whatever God gives you to eat with gladness.
And they, continuing daily with one accord in the temple, and breaking bread from house to house, did eat their meat with gladness and singleness of heart, praising God, and having favor with all the people. And the Lord added to the church daily such as should be saved.
Some flat earthers will quote the Bible and at the same time talk about visualization and manifestation, which is New Age for witchcraft.
We've all experienced something like this, creating our own reality to a degree. There have been instances where you've said, I really don't want this to happen, I really, really don't want this to happen, and it happened anyway. There have been points where you've thought about something, you've desired something so much, and because you put that much energy, focus, attention, emotion, whatever you want to call it, or a combination of those things, into this event, it actually manifests itself in your reality. For example, I have the story of a few years ago. I was doing physique competitions. I had started doing those competitions, and about 3 weeks out, I was still training and getting ready. I was lifting my weights and eating right and all that. And there were, 3 weeks out, I would be in my apartment. And I would sit quietly and close my eyes and meditate. And I would think about, what it would be like to win. I would focus on the emotions of having my name called as the winner. I thought I envisioned myself on the stage being presented with a trophy or a sword. I wanted to feel what it felt like to be the winner on that particular evening. And I would focus on that. I would sit down 10 to 15 minutes each night for about 3 weeks, give or take. And it happened exactly like that. The night of that competition, I won first place men's physique, won first place men's physique overall, and was interviewed by a guy from the Northwest Guardian. And that's exactly what I said. There was a point when I was at work, after I had been doing this for about a week, this whole visualization exercise at home. One of my supervisors came to me. He says, "Oh, you got a competition coming up. What do you think's going to happen?" I said, "Oh, I'm going to win." He's like, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, I'm going to win first place men's physique. I'm going to win first place men's physique overall, and I'm going to be interviewed by the Northwest Guardian." And that's exactly what happened that night. And in the following competition, the NPC Northwest Classic in Tacoma that year, I did the same thing. Sat in my apartment, visualized myself winning, visualized the guy calling my name, visualized being handed a sword for the overall winner, and all that, and felt the emotions, talked about it, and it happened just like that. And we've all experienced something like that to some degree. We all supposedly have the ability to create aspects of our own reality. We can manifest events into our lives by putting enough attention and focus on these things. And that may very well be something that is being hidden from us. We should be taught these things. These abilities should be developed, in my opinion. That's another thing about reality that I believe is being hidden from us. It's our true potential as people who can manifest things and pull circumstances into our lives just by thought and focus and emotion. And that was my experience with that.
Yes, Daryl Marble, when you used manifestation to win your bodybuilding competitions, you used witchcraft. I'm not trying to pick on you, Daryl, but I have experience with this stuff. And if it no longer applies to you, please let me know so I can make a retraction correction video. If you think about it, when you used visualization or manifestation, you cheated to win. The other competitors didn't have the tool you used, so you had an unfair advantage that they didn't know about. And you can't expect everyone to use manifestation, because many Christians know it's witchcraft and wouldn't use it against others even if it was being used against them. Before I got saved, I was into the New Age. The Secret was my favorite film, and I watched it dozens of times. I tried to do everything that the New Age leaders in that film said to do. I cut pictures of all my desires out of magazines, or printed them off on my computer and pinned them to bulletin boards. I taped them to my mirrors and to my walls, and I meditated upon manifesting them. And I got very good at manifesting exactly what I wanted. For instance, I manifested the exact motorcycle that I wanted, the exact car that I wanted, and the exact roommate and apartment that I wanted. But everything I manifested came with a big price tag. I wrecked the motorcycle just a few months after buying it, and I've never been the same. The car got repossessed because my health went down the drain, and the roommate went psycho and got us both evicted. The motorcycle got repossessed as well. This same kind of thing happened to James Arthur Ray, one of the New Age gurus in the film. He built some sweat lodges and then unintentionally killed some people in them, people who weren't healthy enough to be in sweat lodges. He had to serve prison time for involuntary manslaughter. That's what playing with visualization or manifestation or witchcraft can do. If you're a Christian, you're not supposed to play with witchcraft or manifestation or visualization to get what you want or need in life. That's using your own will plus demonic forces. God calls for witches to be killed in the Old Testament, for those of you supposed Torah keepers that I'll address later in this series. As a Christian, you're supposed to pray to God for what you want or need in life. And you're supposed to pray it, "Thy will be done." Otherwise, it's "my will be done." It's man's will against man's will, plus demonic forces fighting for both sides, and God is nowhere in it. And that's why God is nowhere in professional sports, contrary to what some Christians believe. Everyone in professional sports is a Freemason, even the kicker and punter, the lowest men on the active roster in terms of value.
Hey, we gotta get our handshake down real quick.
All right, what are we doing?
Are we going for that? Hey, we gotta get our handshake down real quick.
All right, what are we doing?
Are we going for that? Hey, we gotta get our handshake down real quick.
All right, what are we doing?
Are we going for that?
We'll have fun. It's our half, you know. We'll have fun. It's our half, you know. We'll have fun. It's our half, you know.
Did they know that they were going to win this year? Who knows? What I do know is that the NFL is rigged for sure. Superb Owls included. It's the National Football Lodge, not the National Football League. The kicker and the punter are the two lowest men on the football team. If they're in the club doing the handshakes, then so are the rest. George Karlaftis was a rookie last year. If he's in the club doing the handshakes, then so are the rest. Everyone in sports uses visualization. That's why Phil Jackson was given so many championships, because he was the sports guru of visualization, of using witchcraft in sports. And that's why Tom Brady was given so many championships, because he married a witch. I pray everyone can understand the difference. If I make a full testimony video, I'll go much deeper into my New Age, vision boarding, visualization, manifestation nightmare that cost me literally everything and everyone I loved. Stay tuned for part 4 tomorrow. Please like, share, and subscribe. My everything has been shadow banned, and unless you share, no one will receive this message. Thank you for watching. God bless you all.
But it's over and over. on the winning tide, but it's a oh no, oh no, oh no, I got to go to ride on the winning tide. Brother Noah, my God's talking, ride on the winning tide. Said he would ride on the wind and tide. Hey, children, stop still and listen to me. God walked down to the briny sea. He declared that the Eve was the sent from man, and then he decided to destroy the land. He spoke to Noah. Noah stopped. He said, Noah, I want you to build me an ark. I want you to build it 3 cubits long. I want you to build it big and strong. I want it 50 high and 50 wide, so it will stand the wind and tide. It's oh Noah, oh Noah. Oh no, I got to go to ride on the winning tide, but it's a oh no, oh no, oh no, I got to go to ride on the winning tide. Got to go to ride on the winning tide. Got to go to ride on the winning tide. Oh no, brother Noah, my God's talking. Said he would ride on the wind and tide. Well, after the foundation was laid, then Noah began to hew and build. The ringing of the hammer cried judgment, the hewing of the saw cried sin and repent. 100 years he hammered and sawed, building the ark by the grace of God. When the ark was done, God's voice was heard. He said, now Noah, let me tell you what to do. Call in the animals 2 by 2, so he called them in the ark 2 by 2. He called the birds, the ox with the kangaroo. Then he called in Japheth, the ham and Shem. Then God began to flood the land. He raised his hands to heaven on high, shook the stars and moon from the sky, shook the mountain, he troubled the sea, hit the wind to his chariot wheel. He stepped on land, stood on the shore, and declared that time there wouldn't be no more. But it's oh no, oh no, oh no, I got to go ride on the winning tide.